Hello guys, it's 899 here and welcome to today's video, and today we're going to be going through our preview predictions of Game 1 of the 2026 State of Origin series. We're going to be looking through both teams and just going to be looking through what is interesting about them, what's not, and then we're going to go to what I think will actually happen throughout this game on Wednesday night. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off, we are going into the New South Wales team, and it's currently got a list of 20, which looks like this. You got James Tedesco, Brian Toto, Stephen Crichton, Katoni Staggs, Tola Takula, Mitchell Moses, Nathan Cleary, Adam Fanua-Blake, Reece Robson, Mitch Barnett, Hudson Young, Hamale Olakau'atu, Isaiah Yeo, Cameron Murray, Victor Radley, Jacob Saifidi, Blake Brayley, Ethan Strange, Casey McLean, and Dylan Lucas. But there has been a couple of instances where this may change. Pretty much announced as of today that Mitchell Moses has been sent for scans, which could see Matt Burton brought into the Blues squad for this game. And I believe it's probably going to end up being that it's going to be Ethan Strange at the 6 alongside Cleary at 7. I feel like there is also a couple of omissions that I'm a little bit confused about in terms of this team, where Jackson Ford, why is he not in it? Like, I'm happy that you got Blues players like Jacob Saifidi and Dylan Lucas and whatnot, but I mean, respectfully, Jackson Ford is probably the most on-form forward in the NRL right now. Like, he's been pretty much up there in the Dally M count. You don't want him. But it's going to be to see Olakau'atu be in there, Adam Fanua-Blake. We're going to be pretty hyped up getting the at least one Kiwi in each team, it seems, to promote, obviously, the new rule come in that basically doesn't matter what your international lineage is, where you first play rugby league, you're eligible for State of Origin, which sees now it's opened the door now for a bunch of players from New Zealand to come in. And I'm also just starting to think of, well, what happens if some player in England is being an absolute baller? Like, does Bevan French get selected? But yeah, it's a pretty standard team. Not really that many shocks in terms of selections. It's a pretty solid Blues team. So now, let's look at the enemy. Let's look at Queensland. So now we go into the Queensland team, as we have Kalen Ponga, Selwyn Cobbo, Robert Toya, Hemiso Tabuai-Fidow, Jojo Fafita, Cameron Munster, Sam Walker, Thomas Flegler, Harry Grant, Tina Fasoma-Laui, Ruben Cotter, Kurt Capewell, Max Plath, Britton Nakora, Lindsay Collins, Patrick Carrigan, Trent Laurier, Ezra Mam, Garamat Shibasaki, and Kulahifu Finafawaki. Yeah, pretty substantial. I mean, there was obviously a lot of debate about if it was going to be Ponga or Reece Walsh, and it's a fair few people are going to saying, oh, no, Walsh is crazy, he single-handedly can win games, and it's like, and Ponga can't. Like, but yeah, I mean, him and Brisbane haven't been that good this year in their title defence. Apparently, Cameron Munster's been sitting out at training, but they're still expected that he is going to play, so be interesting there. Excited to see Jojo Fafita in there. I think some people have been talking about Alafina Khan-Pereira could have been in the team, especially because he's been on decent form with the Warriors. I mean, I've liked him. I've been calling for it for the last couple of years, even when he was at the Titans, when he was on song, that he should be in the Queensland team. So it'd be really good to see. Carrigan not starting is going to be interesting, so it'll be good to see how Plath goes in there. I mean, he just got pretty decent forwards and all that. Flegler coming back into the side, pretty cool. Shibasaki, good to see. Ezra Mem off the bench, I think is going to be very more crucial than people think, because I mean, Ezra Mam has been very much the young son hero for Brisbane, especially in last year and in some games this year. Obviously, I know people don't like him for a pretty obvious reason, but you can't deny that he is very good. Sam Walker also being halfback, I think, is the right choice. I did kind of have a bold prediction earlier in the year saying that Tom Dearden was going to win Player of the Series back-to-back, which kind of reveals who I think is going to win Origin. But unfortunately, he got injured and is going to be out for the entire series, I think. So as we are 2 days away, let's now go into what I think will happen. I do think, in my opinion, that Queensland have the stronger squad, because I think the Blues have got a little bit more players out. And the Queensland side is pretty much very established. There you go, it is. I mean, I understand that the betting market is the New South Wales being the favourites, because Queensland got to have some reason to think of themselves as being underdogs, despite winning more State of Origin series. Like, could you imagine if the All Blacks started calling themselves underdogs for the Bledisloe Cup? It's starting to get to that level. The Queensland side in Game 3 absolutely smothered the Blues at Accor Stadium, which is where Game 1's going to be taking place. So I'm expecting that's going to be the strategy for them, is just take the crowd out immediately and not let them try to get a resurgence. But it would be good to see some young core coming into the team. Obviously, you got like Ethan Strange, who's probably at this point now going to be the 5'8". Telltale Caller is going to be pretty good. Case McLean, if he gets in there. Dylan Lucas could be pretty good to see. Hopefully none of the Knights players get injured, because I'll fucking lose it. But in terms of how I think this game goes on, I think for New South Wales, they're going to have to do this the hard way. So my prediction is, I think Queensland win away from home and get Game 1 done. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Who do you guys have winning Game 1? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you all later.
Wow.